Welcome back to the Distract Cast. I don't know why you're listening. But we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Spotlight.
Yeah,
That's what it's called, right?
Nintendo Direct followed by the Spotlight.
Yeah, whatever the fuck.
But it started with the Direct.
Yeah.
I actually missed the first minute.
I think it was just Reggie coming out talking about
And did he get surrounded by Xenoblade Chronicles?
he was
set?
he was in a fake house,
Okay.
and then I think he made an Odyssey reference or pun.
Okay.
And then the walls of the house fell down, and then they went straight into the Xenoblade Chronicles too.
I keep on saying it's Xenoblade. It's a European way for some reason.
What is it?
Xenoblade. They were saying Xenoblade.
Okay. So yeah, we'll start there, I guess. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that comes out this year, even though people were saying it was delayed.
Yeah. I was actually really surprised by that. It's...
The fucking arts, the fucking faces, that's what's getting me.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like it better than Chronicles X.
Yeah.
But there's still some weirdness in the faces. But at least it's art style, and not just you failed sort of thing, you know?
I just want to know why they wear underwear with the assless chaps.
I was about to say, how do you do that? But then I remember you should be seeing to the...
Yeah. It's if you're gonna go with assless chaps, just forget the...
Is it a sense of you need to be... It's sort of hot out, it's temperate, you need to be cool, but you also have to be modest? Is that what it is?
I think it's more protective.
More protective.
Okay.
Okay.
Where are you gonna sit with that?
Also, you got to make sure things don't swing around too much.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially with a Xenoblade.
Yeah. With a blade that's dangerous, but also when you have a planet, when you're on a Titan, whatever it's called, that has all these little things looking to eat berries,
Yeah.
you don't need to
Yeah.
give a little something dangling to grasp at. Because, when you're fighting a huge monkey or whatever, there's a huge ape, I think, in one of them.
Yeah.
You don't need a little tiny lizard, crippling you. You know?
This is already very
It
terrible.
got really weird already.
Did you? I didn't watch any Treehouse stuff. There was a lengthy demo for that.
Yes.
Right? How's it looking?
So, two things that I noticed that really stood out. The visuals still look a little dated. They got I think the grass still spins compared to where you're looking. It's really weird.
Was it fidget spinner stuff?
But the other thing I noticed, which is really good, Xenoblade Chronicles X had a huge problem when it came to the UI.
Yeah.
It was just cluttered.
Yeah.
And it looked terrible. What they did here was that they simplified some things, and the arts bar...
It's color coded now.
Yeah.
Right?
Art bar, by the way, is the name of a wrestler. But the arts bar, which is this, it's color coded in Splinza 2. So it's controlled by the 4 face buttons and then the 4 directional buttons. They choose the directional buttons. Actually, they might use only 3 of each. But the directional buttons choose a type of art, and then the face buttons choose a specific art.
Oh, okay. You can have subcategories.
Yeah, so that separated things out into something that's way quicker to
What were they playing with, separate Joy-Cons?
Yeah, they were using the separate Joy-Cons. I don't think I saw much in the way the Pro Controller being used, but
Does it still have the mechs from X?
No, it doesn't. Well, the way that they're talking about it, Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles X are 2 different series.
Okay.
So this is more along the lines of Xenoblade Chronicles.
Okay.
And I think it takes place on multiple Titans. So
is there a way to get around quickly, or?
I don't know. I'm a person who I only played a little bit of Xenoblade Chronicles and a little bit of Xenoblade Chronicles X, Xenoblade.
Pick one, you asshole.
But I didn't get very far in Xenoblade Chronicles because I sucked. And Xenoblade Chronicles X was just not fun. At least not at the beginning. So.
Were they playing a localized version? Were you hearing the British voices?
That's a good question. I don't actually remember cutscenes when they were showing it off. I think they were showing off, some of the things that they were showing off with Chronicles X. It was just scale.
Open world stuff.
Open world stuff. I think they did show a way to fast travel. I don't remember it though.
Do you remember it being a vehicle or like just a?
I feel like it would probably have been like a point that they go to and like transports you. I might be making that up. I think that was what it was.
Why are you lying about games?
Why am I lying about games?
Are you a
because
journalist?
I got a podcast and that brings people in. No. No, I'm actually sort of drawing a blank on any sort of like fast travel.
No, I sort of just wanted the mechs back. They looked rad in X.
I never got to the mechs, and like things just went on forever in that game. The tutorial section went forever. The camera system didn't work for indoors at all. But it looks like you don't have to worry about that stuff with this. Like,
Okay.
it looks like a fun game, unlike X. It also looks like the way the characters move isn't like a floaty mess. Because other ones, like, it always felt like the animation was slightly slower than the movement you're actually going. So it felt really weird. That's not the case here.
Is it closer camera or no?
I think so. I don't really know what the camera controls are like. I don't remember. Damn it. This makes it sound like I don't know much about it. And I don't, because it was really just first shown off, but it does look better than X. Like, and doesn't look like it's trying to be an MMO or anything like that. I think this is one of the games that they showed off that had like some frame rate issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
And this is like a full release, right? They don't have like exact.
yeah,
Okay. Then I think they showed Fire Emblem Warriors, right?
yeah.
But that was all cutscene.
They showed. I mean, yeah, they showed gameplay in the.
Oh, okay.
It looks like
It looks like Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah.
Really?
It fits the Fire Emblem thing better, and you have like horses, like you have like horseback. One of the things they added, I'm not sure if they added it in this or if they started adding it in the 3DS version of Hyrule Warriors, but Hyrule Warriors.
Get it right, geez.
Iwata had trouble saying that too, but he has an excuse. He's Japanese, and warriors is not a Japanese word. But they added like a way to sort of like control your army, like some sort of commands you can give them.
Oh, okay.
It's either that or you can like skip to the a part where the other people on the field are, like whatever.
Oh, like jump two different
Yeah.
groups.
I can't wait for somebody to be like, that was in Hyrule Warriors, and like I don't remember because I beat in 3 days, and
Oh.
but no, it looks like fun. It looks like, you know,
Would you pick it up if you had a Switch?
I think so. I enjoyed Hyrule Warriors enough to do that, and like I think they added other modes for like sort of challenges and shit.
Oh, okay.
And there is voice acting, unlike
Okay.
Hyrule Warriors. They actually brought the voice actors in from the original series, and I think you can set up things where it's, you know, this character's army versus this character's army as like you know, just a sort of like a you versus computer thing.
Oh, okay.
It feels like a type of game where if you have a mode like that, why not have online play?
Like competitive?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
They didn't announce that?
no, not to my knowledge. It's probably one of those games where it's so hectic, where like that how do you fight? Like, what if it's two generals, right?
Yeah.
And both your attacks send people flying. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's probably hard to do something like that. But
I think it would be more objective based.
yeah,
Like just like controlling a zone from AI more than.
yeah, that'd probably work out better. But you know, they could still announce something like that. But
Is
here's
that
the thing.
this year?
What?
Is that this year?
I don't remember. Here's the thing that's difficult with the Nintendo stuff, because it's a stream, and technically it's still not over.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. There could be some
you can
stuff
miss
tomorrow.
stuff easily.
Yeah, they
you know?
could easily announce like a new Smash tomorrow.
Yeah, like, and people are disappointed that wasn't announced, but I'm sorry, they were disappointed that the Smash that we played already wasn't announced again. But
Yeah, people were like, "Oh, does that mean they're making 5 now? Like, does that confirm
maybe.
they're just making a new Smash?"
maybe.
I don't know why they need to.
I always wonder though, because
like the last one was pretty definitively
Yeah,
Smash.
I do wonder. I wondered this from the beginning. The last 2 Smashes, we always heard that it was Iwata sort of got Sakurai to do it because they're old friends. Iwata's not with us anymore. Like, so does Sakurai have anybody that can force him to do it again? You know,
Miyamoto could probably
maybe Miyamoto
put a katana up to his neck
a katana up to his neck.
and summon.
He
the-
doesn't use katanas; he uses hammers and mushrooms.
Well,
but-
we know they're all part of the Yakuza.
Yeah, totally, because of that old story.
Yeah.
That's completely true. So I'm saying it like it's not. And love hotels.
And then they showed Speaking of love hotels, Zelda Breath of the Wild
Oh, yeah.
DLC.
Oh yeah, everybody's favorite game, and if it's not,
And get the fuck
the
out
fuck
of
is
here.
wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Remember that? Yeah.
It's a meme.
Yeah. Yeah, they showed off.
The
you did
first
watch.
pack.
You did watch the direct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They showed off the costumes and whatnot, which we saw that trailer already. I think, like, because I saw those costumes already.
We saw them in stills. We haven't seen them.
Okay, yeah, okay, they were in stills.
Yeah, we haven't seen them in game.
They did show a little bit of the second DLC.
Which part was that?
I think right afterwards.
Was that when he was fighting the Lionel? Or
Any of
was
the cutscene
no
stuff
the
with Tifa.
champions?
Yeah, the champion stuff. That's part of the story of the second DLC.
Are we playing as the champions?
I don't know.
Because Link is not in any of that.
Some people think it's a prequel, but if you get all of your memories in Breath of the Wild
don't
before
do
you
this-
beat it,
don't do this to
No,
me.
then you get something that might be a setup for the DLC.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's like a shot in this that makes me think it could be related to that, but
I hate you so
when it
much.
comes to everything else, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna play as the champions. If that is the case, then it's not teasing the DLC.
Okay.
You know.
I don't even know how that would work though, playing as the champions. You know.
Yeah, that feels like you need a. First of all, you need a map that's doesn't have Hyrule Castle in ruin.
Yeah.
But yeah, that seems like a pretty hefty amount of DLC at that point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure what it's going to be, but it's supposed to be like those are all new clips.
And that's coming fall. Like they said this year, right?
I guess this year. I thought I had heard that before, and I think the DLC Pack 1 is coming June 30th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's coming. That one of the cool features in that, obviously the costume where it has the
Korok.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
gonna be
you-
helpful for me.
Yeah. Are you
and,
gonna find all the Koroks?
maybe?
You son of a...
But one of the cool things it has is the thing that shows you where you were in the
Yes.
last 200 hours.
The
of
hero's path or something.
gameplay.
Traveler's
Oh
path.
yeah. That's what it's called.
Yeah, that thing's awesome.
yeah.
I wish other open world games steal it.
Yeah, like it's super useful, especially in something like this where you're just asked. Well, you're not. That's a beautiful thing about it. You're not asked to do all this stuff. You just want to.
Yeah.
Like so. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
I was actually pleasantly surprised by what the battle stuff looks like, because I thought it was gonna be like a static environment and the enemies just respawn after every wave, and each one seemed themed, and there was like a puzzle element to them too.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know what it is. They've had things like this in previous Zeldas, like as far as like
Challenges.
in Twilight Princess, they had a thing that's a tower, but it's a cave. You have different levels of challenges.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so I think this is the same thing. And from what I saw, like there's some of them where it was like, decently large areas where it's, you have to fight several camps worth of things, but they're like camps on water. So like you have to like really, and I'm sure it's gonna rain in one of them. So it's
Yeah.
like hard to get around and shit.
There's one that was like all lava. I don't even know how you're supposed to.
Yeah, like what the great thing
I
about
love the combat, so
yeah.
I think I'm gonna.
that's one of the great things about this game, like that makes a mode like this not just like a weird challenge, but actually like a cool thing to experience. There's good good like that dynamic combat. Hold on a second here. Good dynamic combat, but also there's so many systems built into the game that they can use to add different nuances to the challenges. Like everybody knows that rain in that game is debilitating.
Yeah.
Like you try to climb everything in that game, and then once it rains, well, now you're taking the ground route everywhere, and it's weird. Like, so them doing that in the challenge mode, they could have seemingly something that's like, oh, that's easy, I'm almost through it, and then it starts raining, and all of a sudden now it's a huge ordeal.
Like
And they have new Lionels. It looks like a gold Lionel.
Yeah, there was a gold line. This is weird. I love fighting Lynels, like especially savage ones.
I started fighting more of them. My brother makes them look harder than they are. But
Yeah, they're once you get a rhythm down, they're a fun little exercise.
once you get used to the dodging, the slow motion dodging
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
then like you're pretty good. You
Yeah.
just have to worry about the endurance of your weapons or what weapons you have.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that was what I found interesting about the combat part though. You start off with nothing, and then he kept getting better weapons. Like he
Yeah.
never got any armor.
yeah,
He was in that like starting outfit the entire time, just the shorts.
yeah.
So I wonder if it's pure
I don't know.
weapon.
See, this is the interesting thing about this, because it starts you out like that. It has elements of that one island
Yeah,
already,
yeah.
and that was
I don't want to spoil that for people,
Yeah.
but yeah, like that's immediately what I thought about.
yeah. So I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't even have to have like I don't have to have any sort of reservations about like, will I like this? Is this too tough?
Yeah.
It's just, well, I enjoyed the hell out of that. This is more of that.
Yeah.
So I'm down.
Then they announced a new Kirby
Yes.
and a new Yoshi. Just no
Yeah, just Kirby and Yoshi. is what
Kirby
they
and
call it.
Yoshi. They're coming out.
The Kirby game looks like the Kirby game, like Planet Robobot to me.
Yeah.
Which the first Kirby game I like really, really enjoyed. Actually, that's a lie. I liked Yarn. Sorry, what's that called? Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Okay.
I like that a lot. But
Looks like you have AI minions you can get now, and
I guess that went by really quickly for me. I was just like, oh, Kirby. Like,
yeah, it looked like he like shot something at a minion. The minions, he had like 3 of them following him, but now you can also combine like a fire sword with like another ability.
oh,
I think. I don't know. I was just reading it off based off of other people's interpretations, but
yeah.
yeah, they're just
it's a
like,
Kirby
hey,
game.
yeah, here's a fucking Kirby game. Here's a
What
Yoshi
you expect
game.
from a Kirby game, you're getting here.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some new stuff, but overall, it's Kirby game. Side scroller. It's gonna be good. Yoshi. I actually saw some stuff on the spotlight thing. What's new about this is that it does add some like actual 3D movement. It's using Unreal Engine 4.
Just that one, not Kirby.
I don't know about Kirby, but Yoshi was announced to have used Unreal Engine 4.
Yeah.
And
Which means like there's a chance like Marcus Phoenix and the rest of the gears show up.
a lot of people read into that and they go like, that means the Switch is more powerful than we think, because you have to be like really powerful. I'm like, the iPhone 5 and
Yeah.
Unreal Engine 4 games. That's not how
It's like
engines work.
optimized to run on iPhone.
Yeah, it's not how engines work. You don't run them so much as I don't know, but it has like some elements where you're going down paths that go deeper into the distance.
Like 2.5D or something.
Sort of like 2.5. It's sort of think of it like the overworld map on some of the 2D Mario games. Like you have like sort of this fixed path you can go down, but sometimes it goes toward the camera. And in this one, you can fire eggs at background and foreground elements and knock things down, because everything looks like a diorama.
Yeah.
And at some point during after you get to like one point of a level, it switches the side that you're viewing the diorama on. Okay, so it switches what side. Funny switch. It switches what side of the diorama you're looking at the level on, and it's actually kind of adorable because you can see behind some of the things that you might not have hit first time around, and you see like a lot of the Shy Guys are like stagehands. So you see like platforms that were moving like in and out were because Shy Guys were like pulling like rubber bands and like making the whole thing work. And some are like asleep behind bushes, and you could have like knocked the bush down and hit them and whatnot. But the weird thing about it is that, I mean, it is kind of cool that you can miss stuff the first time around, and then when you're on the other side of it, you can't interact with that the same way. because of that, but there's a large portion of the game where foreground elements are obscuring what you can see.
Yeah.
And it's not. I'm sure to some people it's not overtly clear that you're firing eggs toward you. It feels like a thing that should have come out on the 3DS.
Yeah, I wonder how it'll look on the Switch screen. When
Yeah.
it's that small and there's stuff obscuring your...
Yeah, it feels like you need 3D for it. Inherently,
Yeah.
So that's something I found really weird. But overall, it's along the lines of Yarn Yoshi. Slightly different art style, and they use the art style for gameplay elements, like they always do. But if you're who's that guy from Giant Bomb?
Jeff Gerstmann?
Yeah, if you're Jeff Gerstmann, you're not gonna like this game. There's nothing.
Because it's a lot of Yoshi.
Yeah, it's a lot of Yoshi, and it's a Yoshi type of game. It's not.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this before. I think privately. We were talking about what's Nintendo gonna show? What's Nintendo gonna have at the conference? What could they surprise people with?
Didn't I say a Kirby game, and that happened to happen?
Yeah, you were reading off your Wii U games, and I think maybe your 3DS games. After the back-to-back Kirby Yoshi games, do you feel like the Switch is gonna be something where they go we not checking boxes in the same way as
as far as franchises,
but just going all right, fuck it, we have these IPs, we're gonna put one of each on here,
Yeah, it does feel like that. I wonder why they didn't do that with the Wii U, but it does feel like that. They want to get everything on there. Some of the games were likely in development for the Wii. In fact, Rabbids probably was for the Wii U.
Mario and Rabbids?
Yeah, they said they were working on it for 3 years. And that predates the availability of the chip they're using and whatnot. It's probably for the Wii U.
They showed that, right? A little snippet of that.
What?
At the Direct.
Oh, the Rabbids. They showed it 2 times. And actually, another reason why I think it probably was for the Wii U originally, the menus kind of look like they're for touch, which I know it has touch too, but it just looks like designed around that.
Why are you such a Wii U stan?
Because I like the system better than Switch. But
You're a madman.
But it is.
No one's ever said that before.
Probably. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to talk about the Yoshi, and it's a Yoshi game. It doesn't have a name,
But do you think next year it's here's F-Zero, here's Star Fox, here's
That's interesting.
It's just there's no subtitles. They're just this is an F-Zero, this is a Star Fox.
Okay, now I just got the whole sense of what you were saying.
Yeah. We own this IP. We have this console. We want this console to do really well.
Yeah.
And there's probably people who like this specific IP.
How many people are gonna pull in with F-Zero? I know it's controversial.
You just fucking got the pitchforks.
People I like F-Zero GX. I thought that was the last one that came out, really, to my knowledge. And I think that there's stuff you can do with it. And if their whole reason for not having released one since then is that they just don't know what to do with it, then I should hope that they're not going to do just make another game.
Yeah.
Only because I'd like to see. Because I like Nintendo. The fact that they do have reservations about, just doing another game and they don't, know what to do with it. I like that. Because it means they won't fuck it up,
Yeah.
You could totally kill the F-Zero franchise. Not by not releasing games, but by releasing games that suck.
Yeah.
So I should hope that they would... Also, you know me, I would actually like if they merged some of their
Yeah.
sci-fi stuff. But what was the other F-Zero and
Star Fox.
Star Fox? Okay, so Star Fox might be controversial
Yeah.
now because of the Wii U version.
Yeah, like does that put Star Fox on the back burner like Metroid was because of Other M? You know, like
I
was
don't
it
know.
Other
And even
M?
that wasn't a step like. Even that was still stuck in Star Fox. Like, you had the other things, but it's called Zero because it's sort of isn't it sort of like a remake in some
Yeah.
ways. Like, and by the way, that was the worst way anyone could have possibly used 2 screens. I think, like that game, like it's just difficult to play. I wonder if they could rework Zero to, I don't know. Like, it doesn't feel like a thing that they would just like come up with a new one off the bat. But granted, it was started around the Wii,
Yeah.
so I can imagine them re-releasing Star Fox without but making it possible without a second screen.
Okay.
And that might actually be enough for people, like a band-aid on that situation of a franchise right now. So maybe they could do that. F-Zero, I'm still hesitant about. I'm not sure if they will. Also, like, you know, there will be people going like, why are you releasing F-Zero when you have like Mario Kart?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know how big a franchise F-Zero really is. Most people haven't seen it in their lifetime now.
So in summation, you're saying fuck F-Zero and fuck people who like F-Zero.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
But no, but
that makes sense.
is this the point where they check off another box, and this is a second time in E3 this year where it's pretty obvious that they greenlit something 2 weeks ago, sort of thing?
Yes.
Yeah. You just see some space stuff, and I'm like, wait a second. And then I see a 4, and it didn't quite look like the right font, but then I was like, wait a second. And they're like, Metroid Prime.
That was actually the third time. They had just done it before, too.
What?
When they cut to a guy in an office
Oh, yeah, Pokemon.
writing nothing in a notebook.
Yeah, actually, I thought it was a tablet, like a drawing tablet for the computer, but
Like that whole office looked like it was made out of balsa wood, and they were like, all right, put some Pokemon plushies over here, make it look like his office. It's like the bathroom at like a fucking IHOP or something.
oh yeah, yeah.
And then they're like, say new core Pokemon RPG for Nintendo Switch. So they stop bitching.
The word core,
Yeah.
it's such a weird thing. People use it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, why are you saying the word core? Just say a new Pokemon RPG.
Because new can be interpreted as like a new ideation of Pokemon. When you say core, it's like, oh, it's a
Like in the-
it's a main line.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very odd wording.
So
Because people were like, have they ever described one of their games as a core Pokemon RPG?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, they have.
Alright.
Because there's Pokemon Rumble and all that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
They would just but those are different names for a reason. Like they would have said, Pokemon.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, it's very odd, but I think
I get it.
It got the message.
Like specific.
Yeah, like it leaves very little wiggle room for misinterpretation.
Do you think they're still gonna have 2 games like they usually do?
He said RPG.
Yeah,
He didn't say RPGs.
I guess.
Even when they refer to the 3DS ones, they
Say RPGs.
or they say RPGs.
Okay.
I think.
I've never sniffed the wording of that,
Yeah.
But
But that totally had the vibe of like, man, like it seemed like we forgot something during that Pokken Direct.
yeah.
And like, so I'm gonna make another shitty metaphor. So you can go, take a shit
Well,
now.
actually,
or-
now I'm realizing why they're doing it here. They could have announced it during the Pokemon Direct,
and then people
but then
would
people would
have.
expect the
Yeah.
footage at here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But like, the way that and Metroid was done just gave me this vibe that like, Reggie was
They're like, please buy the Switch.
well,
please?
please buy the Switch now.
Mm-hmm.
But also like, Reggie's sitting there and he's like, well, we have this like, I've never noticed this customer service Gmail we have for Nintendo. Hold on, I'm gonna try to sign in. Like, what the fuck? What is the password?
Mm-hmm.
And like he tries a few times. He finally gets it and he's like, there's emails from here that go back to like The mid 2000s. Let me check it out. We want Pokemon RPG on home console. We want Pokemon RPG on. When's the Pokemon RPG? Metroid Prime 4. What? And like he's just reading all these emails from customers.
What's weird about that is that the Metroid Prime 4 ones were from before 3.
Yeah.
So strange.
And he's just like, man, I think these guys really want a Metroid Prime 4, and
I'm just gonna,
yeah, I'm
bring
going
this up to some people.
yeah, I'm gonna leave in the comment box and see what people think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's totally the vibe I get.
But the 3DS is gonna get a Metroid game with footage and whatnot shown off.
Yeah, that comes out in September,
Yeah.
I think.
Samus Returns.
Samus Returns, a remake of 2.
Yeah. Reimagining, they said.
Okay.
Which I interpret that, especially when like look at the gameplay, to mean that they basically took the story or concepts of 2 and just said, let's make a new game, sort of thing. I haven't played 2 though, so I don't really know.
It's made by Mercury Steam, which people are like, okay, all right, now we have to start worrying, because they apparently like made shitty Castlevanias for the 3DS.
Oh, those. Okay.
And I think they made Castlevania, the one you mentioned before earlier.
Lords of Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now people are like, oh, okay, fuck.
But people liked what they played.
Yeah.
With this, so
Like people were cool on the trailer.
what you got to worry about is if they're making Prime 4, because Retro's not making Prime 4.
Yeah. So there's that fact sheet, and in it was just one of the producers from Prime working with a new team. They didn't specify with the new team. I think they would have said Mercury's team if it was them.
Yeah, I guess.
But like there was nothing. The funniest part of that fact sheet was there's a paragraph that gives you nothing, and then another paragraph that repeats the same thing but in a different order.
Yeah, like it doesn't do anything, which is pretty much saying, hey, we greenlit this.
Is it the most nothing announcement? Because like
that Nintendo's ever had, possibly?
Well, like Beyond Good and Evil had a CGI trailer.
Yeah.
FF7 had a CGI trailer. Shenmue 3.
The only thing that had less of an announcement than this was at the Switch reveal when Sega came out and said that they were thinking of making a thing for it or something.
Yeah, Sega beats them to the punch. Sega always.
Sega always is lesser.
Yeah, Sega is always lesser than Nintendo.
The only time that they beat Nintendo is at being worse.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Sega beat them to it. Damn it! I thought.
Well, like
it's the most nothing announcement out of E3 though.
Yes, it was literally a thing where I'm like, people are gonna go nuts over this. They shouldn't yet.
Yeah.
It's a logo. Like, we know this is
a thing now.
Yeah, there's still people in Nintendo figuring out that this is being made. Like, that's how minor of a thing it is. Like, it's gonna be released at some point. We do not know if they have the same, like, they said producer of.
Yeah.
I don't know how much the producer contributed to Prime,
But, looking at those two announcements from the standpoint of, like, does this mean this is a Nintendo that's,
gonna start doing things the way that as far as, like, getting the hype going and announcing things too early and shit? Because that's what I got from it.
I got from it, like, I agree with you on that point, but, like, I got from it, like, what Sony started doing in 2015 and saying, like, there's a, we know people want Crash, we know people want Shenmue, we know people want FF7, people still want Last Guardian, just listening. And then letting that drive their...
It's like a weird redemption trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's...
Or just, like, like, instead of us just using data or, like, financial analysis and, like, and other shit to figure out, we just go out there and, like, what are they most vocal about, and then try to deliver on that.
Yeah, I could see
Is this a new Nintendo that listens to their fans a little more, or
like,
or is this, or like what you say, is this a Nintendo?
When it comes to the hardware, they're not listening to this fan, but
every time, man, you gotta spit hot fire in their face.
I do wonder. They do seem to be more. They're on a redemption trip. It's clear. they were like, okay, Wii U didn't do so well. We don't want this to happen again with the Switch. I don't know why they made the Switch then, but they're really trying hard with these franchises.
Every time you get a chance.
It's very hard. They got their Breath of the Wild. They got their Mario Kart 8. It's pissing me off more. And now they're doing the Kirby thing and everything. They're trying to really appeal to Nintendo fans. That is like a kind of goodwill thing, especially when you reach out to, the Metroid fans. It's not quite the goodwill sort of reach that, going for F-Zero or Mother would be.
Yeah.
Like, that's on the Shenmue level, where it's like...
Oh, you really think so?
Where it would be like, how do you bring in...
Well, last year Reggie said, ask me about Mother and Metroid next year.
And nobody did yet. People forgot. They got to do that. But,
Well, he answered with Metroid.
I guess.
There's 2 new Metroid games.
Yeah.
Where's the Mother?
Yeah, but, like, I feel like Mother and things like... And F-Zero, they're not games that are going to bring in a huge demographic of people, but they are one of those things where it's like, tells the core gamer, we're here for you. Like, that sort of thing. Just like with Shenmue. Shenmue's not going to sell millions.
Yeah.
It might get some good hype around it, and maybe like some people be introduced to the franchise, but it's not going to be, multi-million copy seller or whatever.
Only on Switch, though.
Yeah.
I can do it too.
But what was the overall sort of thing I was getting to?
Is this, a sign of a new Nintendo?
Yeah, I guess some people could also swerve it into a desperate Nintendo. But
like desperation is what got us the PS4.
Yeah.
It's what got us Microsoft, allowing...
Yeah, being what they are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when these people are humbled and the money stops flowing in, they start listening,
Yeah. Oh, okay, now I remember what I was getting to. They are appealing to Nintendo fans.
Yeah. To build an install base.
Yes, but they're building on Nintendo fans.
Yeah.
These are people who were won over by these franchises when it came to even their least popular console. And it feels like for the majority of people, they buy into Nintendo franchises because they like them, but also they mostly do it when it's convenient for them. So they might have had a 3DS already, and they're just going to buy Mario Kart 7 for it because it's a Mario Kart. Mario Karts are awesome, and it's on a system that they have. And also when it comes to handheld stuff, they're not viewed as being so far behind the curve. Like, there's, as far as AAA handheld games, like, presentation-wise, they're fine when it comes to that. I feel like when it comes to console games, some of these franchises feel like old news because they look like old news. Like, they don't look like AAA titles to people because they match the definition of AAA titles from 2006 or something. And I feel like I'm harping on this stuff, but like, I feel like that does apply to the majority of people. They do not see, they don't get the same sense of grandeur from some of these things. And sometimes it's because the franchises inherently don't try to be grand. They don't have something that reaches for, well, Metroid can. Metroid can do that. But do they have much that reaches for the Assassin's Creed crowd, the Halo crowd, the Uncharted crowd? Metroid can do a lot of these things. Possibly all three that I just mentioned. But they don't have the mind share yet. It's not convenient to get these things. So basically what I'm saying, it might still be a case where these franchises, even though they're putting them out there, they might not be seen because it's not convenient for people to have this thing. the third-party stuff, the lack thereof, might hurt them still in the long run. You know, like if you do not have an Assassin's Creed, if you do not have all these other things, if you don't have Beyond Good and Evil 2 on there, then there's
That fucking rumor.
like and they're still hoping for it, but I don't know. Do you see what I mean? Like,
No, I understand. Like, they could put as many first-party bullets in the chamber as possible, but
Yeah.
they'll still miss without.
from first-hand experience, somebody who was hoping that well, this is going to be the Nintendo IP that brings people in for the Wii U. It never happens. Like, so, and the thing is, I know people love these things because the NES Classic gets announced and people lose their shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's cheap. It's easy. It was supposed to be easy to get. And it's, things they're familiar with. You can get that same appeal with your new games. Totally. But now you're asking for them to spend $300, maybe $370 for a Pro Controller or whatever. Like, and it's harder to get people to spend that money, especially if they have a system already. Like, that's where you got people going like, how come they can't release Mario games on the PS4 or whatever, right? Like, that sort of thing I'm not seeing now so much, but we're not very far into the whole cycle, so I don't.
Well, speaking of Mario,
This became a Switch thing very easily, but
speaking of Mario,
that's not the next thing on the thing, is it? It was very quick. I don't remember.
there wasn't much else. I think they might have shown some of the fighting tournament games.
Maybe. Oh yeah, they had like a little part where they were talking in the middle, which is weird. I'm like, you have 25 minutes. Don't do this. People in NeoGAF were going nuts when Reggie was like talking in the middle. They were like, "We know you announced ahead of time, 25 to 30 minutes. You are wasting our time right now."
Yeah, no, wasn't there a part where there was like an employee that looked like he was like photoshopped in front of the building of like the Nintendo HQ in Seattle, and he was just like, he apologized or some shit, or it was like Metroid or Pokemon. He's like, please look forward to that game, and then he just put his head down
Yeah,
like in
insane.
shame. like they knew they were fucking
Yeah.
up with these announcements,
But-
but yeah, like they closed it with a T-Rex sized
Yeah, with a hat on it,
with a hat and
a little Mario hat.
Does he have a hat? He doesn't have a mustache, right?
No. For some reason, I guess I was giving it away too much. Maybe in the final game.
Yeah.
But like, little do we know that is Mario.
Yeah.
Biggest revamp ever. Like, no, but like really weird for a Mario game. You can possess things. They took traits from Geist.
Yeah.
You
Their
know?
best FPS.
Yeah,
Well,
an
not
FPS
counting
that
Metroid Prime.
was released for the GameCube and
I wonder if
whatever.
that's what it was. Like they were making Geist, and then they're like, we need something new for this Mario game. It's like, what if his hat?
they still own the IP, Geist. Like,
What if his hat possesses people?
Mhm.
Like, what if
inanimate objects, just like Geist.
like Cappy is the Geist ghost?
That would be hilarious.
Because no one knows who Cappy is. They think he's the rabbit, right?
Yeah.
Like the antagonist. But what if he's a Geist ghost?
Actually, Cappy is in his natural form. He's a top hat, a white top hat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why. And the Odyssey is the name of the ship.
Okay.
Yeah. Which you can decorate the inside of.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm forgetting with what exactly, but there's stuff to
Blood
blood. Yes.
of your enemies.
You can also there's a mirror in there, so like if you change to like outfits, you can see Mario looking at himself in a mirror. But
I guess they wanted to do selfies, but not like go too
Yeah.
far with that.
But yeah, it's weird that at first I was like, Mario and Geist.
It's sort of creepy at
Yeah.
first, like when he like,
He possesses a human,
yeah, like just there's a fucking dude walking.
and then he's just like a weird, semi-realistic human with a mustache on and a hat.
Yeah.
Like, it's really weird, but it's fun.
When he possessed the frog, that was very cute.
Yeah, and then he saw him like going through. I don't know if this was in the spotlight, whatever, almost called Spot House. Like you can go through electrical wires and whatnot, has electricity, and you can possess like the little pieces of metal or whatever that are on sidewalks to prevent like out of control cars from like causing too much damage. You can like possess those and like fling yourself across town with them. Like you fling them back,
Okay.
and then you shoot yourself out of them. And you can possess
So they made
bullet
it-
bills.
So Mario is everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the things, I'm not sure if it was in the trailer, but in the spot house, they showed that place that's like sort of Mexican themed.
Yeah, when he's wearing a sombrero,
he's wearing a sombrero and
a
dancing.
poncho.
Yeah.
Not a poncho.
Yeah,
Was it a poncho?
I think a poncho.
Oh, okay.
That's a Spanish name.
Oh,
A
okay.
Mexican name.
So my parents used to call me.
Poncho.
Yeah.
Pancho Villa from.
Right before they pushed me down the stairs.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, isn't that nice?
But there's several sections in the game where you see a pixelated pipe. If you go in there, then you become a 2D painting on the wall, and you play a 2D side-scrolling 8-bit Mario game on the wall. And like that's you sort of like Link Between Worlds. Like, so they have a tower, and the only way you scale it is by going through this pipe and then platforming up it as 8-bit Mario. And once you get to the top of the thing, you basically jump out of the wall, like, and that happens even with bullet bills. You'll see like an 8-bit bullet bill like artwork like going across the wall, and then when it hits the edge, it's 3D. Like, it's really cool. It's probably one of the cooler aspects of it, but the other thing they said was that coins are now currency.
Well, yeah.
Amazing.
Nothing's cheap in New Donk City.
Yeah. They announced that Pauline's the mayor.
The mayor, yeah.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Pauline is in it.
I wonder if Donkey Kong's going to be in it.
Yeah.
I thought of this a while back. I was like, nobody's going to kill anybody if Donkey Kong
Kidnaps Pauline.
No, I mean, but if Donkey Kong was just somebody like, let's say we had something more like a Mario Sunshine or Mario 64, like if there was a land that was Donkey Kong themed and you could talk to Donkey Kong, right? That'd be a cool little cameo. You don't have to have it be like anything big, but that would have been cool.
Would it be like a Donkey Kong Country theme level?
Yeah,
I was thinking, what if he's a mob boss in New Donk City?
that'd be pretty.
Like he runs like an
Pretty
underground
baller.
banana club.
Oh,
Like he like smokes bananas like cigars, like, "Wah!" And he's got his little buddy
that'd be
Diddy.
pretty cool. Like a little, yeah, Diddy in there.
Yeah.
I
Like
would
he
love
wears
that.
a tie with a suit.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, that'd be fucking rad.
It's fun. But
And then you possess him.
yeah, and then you possess him and you just throw your shit at things. Everything has a power, like at least I think, which is exactly like Geist. Like, it's really weird.
You played Geist?
I played a bit of the beginning. Eventually, get to a point I don't know how to like get past it, but
So like, my big question is, do you have to play Mario Odyssey, and does that mean you're buying a Switch by the end of the year?
I sort of made a promise to myself I was going to, because I want to play Nintendo games still. Like,
Yeah.
they have a grip on my balls.
And they won't let go.
No, they won't let go. I was still, in a lot of ways, sort of most excited about Nintendo's E3 conference this year, despite the fact that I'm not interested in the Switch.
But aren't you always most excited about Nintendo?
Well, yeah, but I didn't expect it this year. Like, and just because I like their franchises, and the games that they make with said franchises. But yeah, I have a feeling that Odyssey is going to be like, well, we said this like, in private. Odyssey is going to be like 3D World, where the initial sort of unveiling is like, okay, I don't know about this, like maybe not as good as the last one, sort of thing. And then they do like a dedicated direct, and you're just like, oh shit, I need to get it, I'm sure in that there'll be like you know, there's a Donkey Kong themed world, and we're just like, need to get it.
Or there's co-op.
They were actually teasing co-op and possibly online play in this.
Yeah.
So that'd be really interesting. That was the thing people asked for in 3D World, so wouldn't be surprised. One of the things I have to say about this game, though, more so than 3D Worlds, because 3D World looks beautiful, so did Galaxy. This looks kind of ugly. Like, there are parts that look nice,
Oh,
but
yeah,
then,
yeah.
like, there are parts that look really bad.
Yeah, people really don't like New Donk City, like the art style.
New Donk City, I think, if it was more refined looking, and that's literally a case of the hardware in that case.
And they're
like,
they're hating it mostly because it reminds them of Sonic Adventure.
I understand that's
So
traumatizing to a lot of people.
Sega keeps fucking them up.
Yeah, that's traumatizing to a lot of people.
But the fruit level looks awesome. The Mexican
That
level
one is my
looks,
favorite my favorite one. Like,
Yeah.
as far as, you know,
the Mexican
aesthetic.
level looks awesome. The
Yeah.
Egypt level looks awesome.
There's one that looks like some sort of like I almost said postmodern. That's not correct at all. But there's a place that has like, it's a city at night, and there's like sort of white sand. It looks really cool. I can't explain the aesthetic, but it feels like it's taking a
Are you sure
page-
it's not the Egypt level at night?
I'm pretty sure it's not, because it doesn't. I don't see any like sphinxes or
Pyramids?
anything like
No.
that.
So
Like,
you think Egypt is just sphinxes and pyramids?
I know there's
everywhere?
one at least, and I know there's a few pyramids. But I have seen some of that level, and I don't know.
Good job
it's not
generalizing.
it. Whatever this is looks like it's taking a page out of some specific artist's like style. It's really interesting. But when it comes to especially that jungle looks like shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like really bad. And there were maybe 3 or 4 times in a small amount of time where the game just like froze and continued going. Like, I choked it up to, you know, not done yet. But the other thing some people had a problem with was that stage looked like it just sort of existed in. Well, actually, same thing with New Donk City. Feels like exists in an abyss, like a
Yeah.
Mario 64 level, which worked for Mario 64, but it feels like they're like hiding it now.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know.
But you're still buying a Switch to play it, right?
Yeah, because the thing is, I know I'm gonna enjoy it. There's never been one that, like, a Mario game I didn't enjoy. I even liked Sunshine. I beat it 3 times.
Oh my god, he has to take out his E-peen.
Well, I'm not proud of it. This is like if I pulled out like my E-peen and like,
Had warts all over.
yeah, like
I got 3 warts right on the tip.
right on the tip. When I piss, it's out of control.
Damn it.
What are you doing with your water over there?
I just
your water
pissed.
broke.
I just
But like,
pregnancy joke.
yep, pregnancy joke.
So overall
I don't know.
thoughts.
It's weird though. I think it's weirder to me than 3D World.
Overall thoughts on what? Well, Nintendo's not done with E3.
Yeah.
E3's not technically over.
Yeah,
But-
I'm trying to think if they announced anything else in the spotlight thing.
Well, apparently there was an app, a lounge.
thing.
I don't know what that's about. There's a sushi thing.
Yeah, the Sushido thing, which I barely saw much of.
Apparently, Pikmin 4 has reversed in development, where it was
Yeah.
almost complete. Now it
Somebody
still has
correct
some.
this. I remember seeing an interview where it was after 2050s, 2015
2050.
2015 or 2016's E3, and like it was like a month afterwards. Somebody said that they interviewed Miyamoto.
Yeah.
It was like Wall Street Journal or whatever. Jesus Christ.
I love the Wall Street Journal.
And Miyamoto said that Pikmin 4 is just done.
Yeah, but it was like
and-
unsolicited. Like no one even asked him. It was
He
like,
just brought it up.
yeah, he was just. They like shook his hand. They're like, "Thank you, Miyamoto."
Yeah.
Son. And then
He's
he's
like-
like, "Oh, by the way, Pikmin 4 is almost done." He's like, "What?
And he's like, no one will believe you. Like,
No one will ever believe you
Yeah.
because you turned off your recorder."
yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
And
like,
he just went into the wall, 2D, and you're like, "Nah, nah, 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 nah."
like, that's what it felt like when you read it. It was just like, okay, nobody asked. But,
Yeah, nobody asked. Keep that to yourself, Miyamoto.
yeah, and now he's saying that, like, it's progressing.
Yeah.
As if, like, it hit a bump and now they're having trouble going forward.
Yeah, like it got to like 98% and
Yeah.
then like
Then it went back.
yeah, they're like
70.
the renderer just fucked up.
Yeah, like very weird.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it was a thing that was supposed to be for the Wii U that relied on the second screen and it needs like refactoring.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be for the 3DS, I know that.
Refactor 5ing.
That guy who owns that company, like one, if he decides to, wait, am I making shit up? Did he say something like they acquired the rights to those games again? Like not Star Wars, but the Rogue Squadron series again or something?
I think so.
So that he can release those again, or at least, I don't know if it means new ones, but
I want a new layer. Layer 2, Kevin's back, Jack.
I literally, when you said that, I was like, you liked that? Because you're the first person I've heard mention layer.
No one likes that.
Like, that's really weird, but
I really hope Kevin's back, Jack, becomes the new Electric Boogaloo.
okay. Could you imagine if they made that, though, now?
Well, Bully 2,
Yeah.
Kevin's back.
Yeah, exclusively for the Switch, would that bring you over?
If Kevin is as cool as he sounds in the title, then yeah.
It's Kevin from
Home Alone? Okay, I'm
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
And Jack is Jack Nicholson?
Yeah. No, it's Jack from Silicon Valley. The guy in the box. Get the fuck out of here. There you go.
The Box 2.
Yeah.
How many more weeks on the Box 2?
I don't know, it feels like... Are we done with talking about Nintendo?
I think so.
God, that was really short.
Yeah.
It was like a 25-minute long thing.
There was no Breath of the Wild. Well,
yeah.
Truthfully, I'm asking you a lot of stuff because I haven't been...
Yeah, I know.
I watched 25 minutes of Nintendo E3 stuff.
But even the Spotlight stuff, for me, hasn't had as much content as previous years because they had 3 tournaments, too.
Do you feel like they felt like much shame and dishonor for not showing... For like talking about 3DS? So like they pulled that out of the spotlight, out of the direct, and like put it into the treehouse.
Well, I think part of the reason that they did that was so that well, for one, they know that the Switch is the new system, so they need to push that. But
it's a new fucking Metroid.
But yeah,
like
they had a Metroid, but
in the title.
In the case of the 3DS thing, I think the reason that they kept the announcement off was so that people would definitely stay, because they didn't say it was a 3DS game either. They said, we're announcing a new game in the first hour. In that first hour, they showed off Odyssey, so it's sort of a marketing thing. They need people to stay interested in the thing so that you get more info.
Yeah, it's like when they're like, oh, tune in to watch Gotham to see a preview of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And it's during the last commercial break.
Yeah. But it's basically the way that their format is. Instead of having it be show off trailer for a game and then show off gameplay of game as people are waiting for more announcements, they just go, here are all the announcements. Now we're going to do all the gameplay stuff with small bits of announcements in between.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
It gets people to stay and watch.
Yeah, and they've been getting better and better with their spotlight sort of stuff each year, like as far as how they present it. Like this year they have like a new set and stuff. It looks nice. It's sort of out of the way, so you don't have as much sort of noise pollution as you used to get. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're missing one thing, and I don't remember what it is.
Rocket League? That was sort of.
Oh, maybe? Yeah.
Thing?
Do you think anybody cares?
I'm sure there's people who have stuck to Nintendo products only and have heard great things about it. Want to check it out? It's got crossplay.
Yeah.
Except with Sony.
Hey, and you can play as a car with a hat.
Yeah. So that's cool. I don't know. Those guys are gonna, I think, really enjoy that game, and having it on the go is great. Even though they said they were gonna add local multiplayer, right? Okay. Yeah, dude, it was 25 minutes. If I could pull something out of my ass right now and tell you, like,
yeah, okay, I guess that was it.
Unless I'm missing something major.
I don't think so. We're an hour in? Really? Alright.
Final thoughts on E3 this year, even though it's
E3?
not over, and you waited in line for 4 hours to play Destiny 2.
E3 it wasn't stellar. It didn't have, its lows were not very low though.
Yeah.
You know, like it was very, it improved its base. You know,
Yeah.
like basically. So overall, I approve, I guess.
You heard that here first. Mark approves of the E3.
Like, there wasn't a single conference where I was just like, oh, just fucking stop.
Yeah.
You know, that happened with
Yeah.
the Ubisoft conference last year.
Yeah, you fell
like-
asleep during that one.
I did. Like, we were live streaming.
Yeah.
I fell asleep. It was so bad. Like, but this year I stay awake, like, for everything, and, everybody sort of kept their shit short.
Yeah.
At least as long as it needed to be. Yeah, it's all right. Any winner?
Well, first of all, it's not a fucking competition.
Yeah, I understand that, but is there anything that's like, I guess, any one conference that particularly
Any one
got
conference.
you most excited or whatever? I guess it'd be Ubi, right?
Well, what's actually interesting is that there was one game at each thing that sort of jumped out at me.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That was cool. That
Yeah.
created like a nice balance. Like EA with A Way Out, Microsoft with Anthem. I thought that was a really cool presentation, even though it's not tied to their thing
Yeah.
entirely. Bethesda with Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I like that you put that in there. Wolfenstein, I like that.
Respect to the Germans, y'all.
Yeah,
And then
they've done a lot since World War II. Don't just put them there. I know it's Wolfenstein, so like, but
and then Ubisoft, of course, Beyond Good and Evil 2.
yeah, I think that's still like my game of E3.
Yeah.
Like,
For Sony, I was having a little bit of trouble because nothing was immediately popping. But I guess God of War, like seeing a giant snake speak Norse,
yeah.
was sort of cool.
So God of War for them, and
Yeah,
then
and then Nintendo would be, I guess, the
Odyssey.
like it's
Can we count Prime 4?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a shitty thing to say Prime 4.
Because we're making an assumption about a game that does not exist.
Yeah.
Pretty much in any form, but an idea right now.
I guess it's the fact that Nintendo showed the words Prime 4.
Yeah.
That's important, I guess. I don't know. In terms of like an actual game, seeing Mario throw his hat at a frog and then the frog has a mustache and a hat is rad.
Yeah.
And the dinosaur is cool. The dinosaur is on the box art, so that's cool.
I actually really like the box art. It's like photographs, almost
Yeah.
like you're on like on a vacation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Beyond Good and Evil was like top thing.
But that's another one where it's like
Oh yeah, it's
it's not even like
at
they
least
could have shown a title. It's the same equivalent.
Um,
But at least we know
Yeah.
like the vibe and tone. and
Yeah.
whatever.
Their ambitions and whatnot.
But yeah, like I like that. Like, okay, so there were past years where like Sony would have like 3 bangers in your face,
Yes.
and you feel overwhelmed. But then there'd be a conference where you're like, that was a total waste of everyone's
Yes.
time and like an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
There was shows shorter than they've ever been, and stuff that stood out from each of them, and it created a nice balance for everything, which is cool. So that's my takeaway from this year's E3.
Well, we actually forgot one conference. I mean, we didn't forget to talk about it, but I'm saying you said that there was something that stood out for every conference.
Tunic for PC. You didn't watch it yet, but it looks pretty rad.
That's not what I was talking about. Talking about that Devolver Digital.
Okay, here's the thing about Digital Devolver. The whole thing was the highlight of
Yeah, I
E3.
guess.
There's no one thing.
That thing was that was the highlight of E3.
Yeah. The whole 15-minute and then 12 hours of streaming.
Yeah, the Jaguar commercial that they...
The 32X.
Yeah, 32X. I thought it was a Jaguar commercial at first.
They showed the Jaguar before that.
Yeah,
They're like,
merged
Atari
them.
Jaguar. Yeah, no, that shit you don't even have to mention because it's on a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's a whole note.
Like I don't even keep it as a part of E3. It's like it transcends E3.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's not over yet. Watch like tomorrow some like huge shit comes.
Yeah.
You know.
Barreling down our throats.
Yeah. It's just like fucking Smash Bros and Kratos is in it. It's
Yeah.
coming to everything. Like I don't know. Like
And he makes love to Goku.
yeah, and he makes love to Goku. Yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
You know what people like.
I know what the ladies like.
But yeah, so I do think that like for me, since this is a Nintendo episode, I a little disappointed. You know, as much I think I was probably the only person on my Facebook that
Was a Debbie Downer.
with Prime. I was like, wow, how do you take all of the energy out of the announcement of that game?
Yeah.
I for years had thought like it was gonna be a little tease, and you just have like black screen for a while, and then dun, and you see like Samus,
Yeah.
like you could have at least given us a 3D model of Samus,
Yeah, I was thinking back to when Prime was first announced.
hmm
That was fucking hardcore.
Yeah,
Like they were like, "Whoa, what the fuck is this?"
and they like
And instead they were like, "Here's an intern playing around with Photoshop."
was there any music for that?
There was, but it was like it was like a
Very background.
yeah.
They should have had the dun dun.
It was a very subtle version of that theme.
Oh
Like you had to listen very closely to hear it.
yeah, I feel like what's weird is that it's a logo, and the thing about logos is that generally they will try to be in theme with the game. That makes me think maybe they at least have a good idea of what it's gonna be.
There's a chance that it might not even be called Prime 4.
Yeah,
Like they just called it that because that's what people want the
these,
most. But it
not
could
gonna
be,
call it Metroid FPS.
yeah, it could be a Metroid new subtitle. It could be
got-
Metroid Prime with a subtitle
Yeah,
instead of
basically
4.
what they're doing there, that's the same thing as saying core.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like you want
This-
people hyped.
But you want them to know what
Yeah,
exactly
you don't want
what.
them to think it's a Metroid Other M.
Yeah, yeah,
know?
yeah.
Because that's a thing that can happen still.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be that guy. But, we don't know anything. It's literally too early.
Yeah.
And I know what E3 2015 was like. You get the hype. 2 years later,
You're staring.
where are we?
Yeah. Staring at a donut hole.
Yeah.
But
What? What does that mean? Staring at a donut hole?
yeah, what's in the middle of a donut? What's in the middle of a bagel?
A hole?
Yeah,
Okay.
nothing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, put your tongue in there. Wiggle it.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
You should get the little bit where the cream cheese or butter just gathered.
Yeah, you could say it's one of those things.
You should have just ruined your whole thing and said butter. Like, that's really. Oh god.
Kill us now.
Yeah, please.